Wisconsin.
Greg Gumbel in New York. The Big Ten goes to 8-1 with Wisconsin's 66-59 victory over Arizona. Those of you awaiting the action in the West region from Tucson, Gonzaga and St. John's just getting started. We will send you to Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner right after this message and a word from your local station.
Game 2 from Tucson, Arizona. Second round action in the West. It's St. John's against Gonzaga. And the Red Storm with a 4-0 lead already. Casey Calvary with 2 fouls for the Zags. Let's take a look at who's on the floor for Gonzaga. Floyd and Santangelo, along with Fromm in the backcourt, Spinks and Dench in the front court. Barkley, Thornton, Glover, Jesse, and Postel for the Red Storm. 5-0 the score, make it 6-0. St. John's on top of Gonzaga, and here's that three-quarter court pressure.
St. John's has scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions, taking the ball inside each time.
Here's a double and a reach-in foul on Glover.
St. John's trying to be very aggressive with that half-court trap. They just created a turnover that time. St. John's with a foul.
Here's Santangelo. St. John's leading Gonzaga 6-0. 17:42 to go in the first half of play. Already for the Zags, their best inside player with 2 fouls, Casey Calvary. And the bracket in the West, Purdue advancing a 6, knocking off a 3. They will play the winner of this game in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
The foul's an important story in the game, but St. John's has had good success getting the ball inside early.
Here's Richie Fromm, the Spink. Kicks it back out, Santangelo. Now Spink. Santangelo with the look. It's good. And the Gonzaga Zags are on the board.
That's what Gonzaga is going to have to be able to do to keep themselves in the game. That three-pointer is the great equalizer. 2-3 zone for Gonzaga. They're trying to match up in this defense.
Bootsy Thornton from the corner, rims out, Fromm with the rebound. And Fromm holds it up.
And immediately you see that Coach Mark Frew and Gonzaga, they do not want to get in a run-up-and-down affair with St. John's.
Santangelo at 16 points against Louisville. Barkley almost knocks it away.
Such quick hands by the Red Storm.
Out of bounds. We stay right here. Fromm, Santangelo, great games against Louisville.
Big games against Louisville. Fromm in particular, outstanding from beyond the three-point arc. And if they can get 48 points from those 2 guys, they're in pretty good shape, although they're probably going to need some contributions from the inside guys against St. John's today.
Baseline, Spink leans in, can't get it to fall. Glover with a nice rebound. And the outlet pass to Barkley.
And that's the difference between Spink and Casey Calvary. Calvary takes that ball right up over Glover and dumps the thing. Spink not quite that strong.
Gonzaga in the zone. Glover in the pivot. Kicked out of bounds by Spink. And for St. John's, Bootsy Thornton really carrying St. John's in the game, and LeVar Postel hitting the big shot against Northern Arizona.
St. John struggled against Northern Arizona. Thornton really did keep him in the game, and then Postel closed it out.
Bootsy to the basket, the leaner, no good, but the stick back for Glover.
Offensive rebounds were a big problem for Gonzaga against Louisville. They cannot afford to let St. John's have second and third opportunities.
Fromm in the corner, has not attempted a shot. Santangelo, nice fake, frees himself, rims out, knocked out of bounds, and it's last touch by the Bulldogs. 8-3 the score, St. John's. 15:41 to go in the first half, 8-3. St. John's on top of Gonzaga, and so far, Dan, St. John's playing with that great intensity.
St. John's has come out, Gus, and really seized the initiative in this game. They drove Gonzaga out of the man-to-man defense with some inside play. They've gotten Casey Calvary in foul trouble. They've been very aggressive on the defensive end of the court. LeVar Postel in particular, an outstanding start for St. John's, and Gonzaga is going to have to do something to change the tempo of this game, because at the moment it is all in favor of the Red Storm.
Al Barkley with the basketball, 2 of 12 against Northern Arizona. Reggie Jesse's shot rims out, rebounded by Floyd inside.
St. John's, I think, needs to reverse the ball a couple of times against that zone defense. You don't want the immediate shot.
Spink kicks it out. Floyd with the step on the baseline. The dense jump hook short. Now Jesse in transition. Nice look to Barkley, tipped away, and Gonzaga forces the turnover. Now Santangelo. Fromm has not shot the basketball yet, but Santangelo draws the foul, going to the basket.
Santangelo is a guy who can shoot the three-point basket, has 60 on the year, but he's also a fellow who doesn't mind putting it on the deck and going to the basket. And he did that time in transition.
All right. Santangelo and Barkley very familiar with each other. They played international basketball with each other this year in Spain. Spent a lot of time talking and playing cards and learning each other's game. First free throw good.
And if Barkley's going to learn about Santangelo's game, he's going to know that Santangelo passed John Stockton to set the all-time Gonzaga career assist record.
He also has the single-season record for passing Stockton. This is the second. 8-4. Red Storm on top of the Bulldogs.
One of the things that Gonzaga does not do well is shoot free throws. Only about 66% as a team.
Postel running the baseline. Guarded by Spink. Now Glover. Across the lane, and he carries the basketball.
And the zone defense by Gonzaga seems to have slowed the Red Storm just a little bit. Mike Jarvis's crew got 3 easy baskets on the inside against the man-to-man, but the zone seems to have St. John's puzzled right at the moment.
Now here comes the zone from St. John's, and Chutney Gray fouls Matt Santangelo.
Boy, what a smart play by Santangelo. He gave the fake, and he knew Gray was up in the air, and he just stepped right underneath him. And good sportsmanship, too, as they landed on the floor. Santangelo asked Gray if he was okay.
14 fouls against the Red Storm. How do you beat this trap?
You've got to get the ball to the middle of the court and then reverse it.
A steal, Gray. Down the lane to Bootsy Thornton, who finishes.
If Gonzaga is going to control the tempo of this game at all, they have to avoid the turnovers. Just a great job by St. John's getting after him in the trap.
Now Floyd inside, Gord spins, and is fouled.
In the trap situation, what you want to do if you're Gonzaga is get the ball into this part of the court and then get it over on this side. But watch what's happened as the ball is dribbled in. Now there's 3 guys from St. John's around the dribbler, and the Red Storm able to get it out and get down the court. You've got to get the ball from one side into the middle and then immediately reverse it to the opposite side before the defense can react.
Zach Gord, a freshman from Vancouver, Washington. Very good offensive player. He gives the Zags size as well. 6'8". Now Donald Emmanuel into the game for the Red Storm.
Of course, St. John's only goes 7 guys deep. Emmanuel only played 11 minutes against Northern Arizona.
10-6, Red Storm.
Gonzaga stays in the zone defense. St. John's has been able to get a couple of turnovers and some offensive rebounds. That's been their production against the zone.
Nice ball movement. Barkley wide open. Off the front rim. Picked up and in by Chutney Gray. And a very valuable 6th man, Chutney Gray. Red Storm take a 6-point lead.
Dangerous.
Rakes it in. Call for the foul.
In the zone defense, Gonzaga hasn't quite figured out how to block St. John's off the board, and Gray is going to come flying in from the left-hand side of your screen. Sometimes the block-out responsibility is a little bit blurred in the zone, and St. John's taking advantage.
St. John's already with 16 fouls. 13:30 to go in the first half. Postel picked up his second. Drake with the jam!
Last time he got it in there, he tried to just shoot it over top and didn't get it. Now he decided he was going to throw it down.
12-8. Bootsy Thornton from the corner. And the rebound goes to Fromm. Here come the Zags with some momentum. Fromm, first look. Loose ball, St. rebound. And here comes Barkley the other way.
Well, how quickly does he push it up the court?
And he's called for carrying the ball. Fourth turnover for the Red Storm.
There's not a smile of happiness by Mike Jarvis. Now, Spink, the first time he got the ball down inside, he was a little hesitant with it. Not this time, no. He just takes it and goes right to the goal for the dunk.
A junior from Bellingham, Washington. 12-8 to score.
You don't want to make long passes against this zone.
In the corner, Fromm again. 0 for 2, and a whistle inside.
That foul's going to be against Zach Ward, but that's the way you beat that press. You make the short pass to the middle, and then you reverse it to the other side. Mark Few will take that shot all day long because Richie Fromm will eventually knock it down.
Gord called for the foul as first. Remember, Casey Calvary, Gonzaga's best inside presence, out of the game with 2 quick fouls in the first 2 minutes of play.
And now some controversy going on between Mike Jarvis and the officiating crew. Mike Jarvis being warned. Gonzaga stays in the zone. St. John's been able to rebound the ball very well against this zone.
Thornton kicks it out. Chudney Gray. Count it.
And his foot on the line, so that's a 2. A good ball movement by St. John's.
Santangelo the other way. Blocked. Here come the Red Storm with numbers. Barkley, the runner. And it's short. Floyd with the rebound. Now Gonzaga with numbers. Nice look. Scored. And we have a 4-point game from Tucson, Arizona. St. John's seated number 2, Gonzaga number 10.
And Mike Jarvis just put up the stop sign for Chudney Gray. He doesn't want his Red Storm scrambling up and down the court either. That's not the way Gonzaga wants to play.
Here's Thornton deep in the corner. Off the front rim. Outlet pass from down the lane. And he missed the chippy.
That's a great play by Barkley. Fromm was thinking about laying it in off the backboard, but Barkley cut him off, forced Fromm to try to lay it over the front of the rim. And that's the shot that if you're going to pull the upset, you got to make.
Gray off the side rim. And St. John's 6 of 14 from the field, 42%.
And St. John's just starting to settle for that outside shot a little bit.
Santangelo. Gonzaga 2 of 7 from the 3. 4 of 13 from the floor, 30%. And it's a 1-point game. And Glover gets ready to check back in. Red Storm having problems with the zone.
Having problems against the zone. It's a zone that I think they can dribble by.
Thornton, he's fouled.
One of the things you've got to be able to do in a basketball game is play transition defense, and this looks like a sure basket by Richie Fromm, but Eric Barkley puts just enough pressure on him that he prevents Fromm from getting and banking that ball in, which is what you want to do when you're headed down the court on a layup. Against this zone defense, Gus, St. John's has settled for the perimeter shot. I think they can take the ball with dribble penetration against the zone. That's what Thornton just tried to do.
Bootsy Thornton, first free throw good. The young man from Baltimore, Maryland, junior college transfer, had a great game against Northern Arizona. And he has really been playing great basketball the second half of the year for Mike Jarvis.
The biggest part of his game was taking it right at Northern Arizona's 7-footer Dan McClintock, and that's what he's got to do against this zone.
10:16 to go in the first half of play. 3-point game. And a look at the data bank. The West has been very kind to the Big East over the past few years. The last three biggest teams to reach the Final Four played in the West. Eaton Hall, Syracuse, and last year's national champion, Connecticut Huskies.
And, of course, Connecticut came out of the West region with a 5-point victory over these Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Sellout crowd here at the McHale Center in Tucson on the campus of the University of Arizona, where the Arizona Wildcats losing today, the #1 seed in the West, knocked out of the tournament by Wisconsin. And the Zags turn it over.
At St. John's pressure, disrupting what Gonzaga's trying to do on the offensive end.
Each team with 4 turnovers. And Barkley walks it into the front court.
An important stretch for Gonzaga right here. Fromm and Calvary both on the bench.
Glover and one. Anthony Glover.
St. John's has really stayed out on the perimeter against this zone defense, but a great entry pass. The penetration draws the defense. 3 guys go to the ball, and as a result, nobody's available to front Glover down in the lane. You can't have 3 guys going after the basketball. 2 guys maybe, but when 3 guys get there, somebody's open, and an easy basket results.
Spink called for a second foul. 16 foul against Gonzaga. Glover with 6 points so far. And he misses the free throw.
And Fromm back in the game. That's that dribble penetration against that zone.
Fromm 0 for 2 from the field.
Now
make it 0 for 3.
St. John's very widely spread zone in the half court. They're really daring Gonzaga to throw the ball inside.
Inside, Kent. Almost missed the jam. Kent 5 for 5 against Louisville. Ending up with 14 points.
Bench, I think, is going to have to be a big factor today with Calvary on the bench in foul trouble.
Chudney Gray off the dribble. Trying to shake up his man. Baseline runner. Rebound goes to Gord.
And Gord is going to be asked to play some important minutes for the Bulldogs.
We may not see Calvary anymore this half. 2 quick fouls.
Calvary is so aggressive, I think it's very dangerous to put him back in the game with 2 fouls.
Trico. Dent. Splits the double. Turns. Nice play.
Dent is 6 feet 11. And Dan McClintock, the 7-footer from Northern Arizona, really caused St. John's some problems down inside. That's the place where Gonzaga may be able to go.
Glover with a strong move. Anthony Glover only 6'6", going over the 6'11". Axel Dent and Thornton with the steal. Now Gray to the cup.
St. John's goes so quickly from defense to offense.
Santangelo inside, Gord, and he's fouled.
We mentioned the quick hands of the Red Storm, the Red Swarm, when they're playing this kind of defense. Thornton picks up the ball, immediately knows where Gray is, and gets the ball down the court. Now, where might Gonzaga have an advantage? Dench is able to get through the double team. Gray not doing a very good job. You can't let the big guy dribble. If Dench can get it down that close to the basket, St. John's simply not big enough to stop it.
Reggie Jesse with 2 fouls. And Gord misses the first one. Tonight on CBS, the disadvantaged kid with big hoop dreams hits the court with a little help from his friends and favorite players on an all-new Walker tonight on CBS.
The fouls are piling up for St. John's, but Gonzaga not able to convert effectively from the line.
Now Casey Calvary comes back into the game, playing with 2 fouls. 8:05 to go.
Gonzaga not a very big team. Mark Few with few options, and Calvary's going to have to be very careful.
Very nice.
St. John's has had success with the dribble penetration against
Glover again, great hands. It looks like he has a baseball glove on in there, folks. He is scooping it up like Derek Jeter.
You throw it anywhere close to Glover, he's going to catch it.
Inside, Calvary almost picked up that foul. Now Casey drop step. And a foul called against St. John's.
Calvary is an excellent athlete on the inside, a tremendous jumper. And he is a guy who's really a capable scorer. Scored 28 points in the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game after scoring 22 the night before, so he can be an offensive threat. They need to have him in the game.
Glover picks up his second foul. And Calvary at the line makes the first. Gonzaga, last year advancing to the Elite Eight. They knocked off a number 7 seed, Minnesota, then a number 2, Stanford. In this tournament, they knocked off Louisville, a number 7, now looking to knock off another number 2 in St. John's. And Calvary misses the second.
Keep in mind, though, as Glover has to go to the bench with 2 personal fouls, St. John's comes in with 25 wins on the year, but they are 20-0 when nobody fouls out of the game. They're only 5-7 when somebody fouls out.
Bootsy Thornton. Weak side rebound, post down.
The book on St. John's is play 'em zone, but if they're going to rebound like that, it's going to have to change the book or at least go to a different chapter.
Red Storm shooting 52%, 11 of 21, 26-19.
Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg in New York. We'll get you back to St. John's and Gonzaga in Tucson. First, take a peek into Minneapolis and check in on UCLA and Maryland. The Bruins opened with a 7-0 run. It's a good thing they did too, Clark, because Maryland has found their walking shoes.
They certainly have. Actually, UCLA got up 14-2, and since then, Maryland has gone on a 19-5 run to tie things back up.
We talked earlier today about UCLA and the emotional roller coaster that they have been on all season long and then seem to find themselves coming down the stretch.
Yeah, they certainly have. UCLA is a team with tremendous young talent. Jerron Rush was out because of an eligibility issue. He's returned, and this team is playing with an awful lot of confidence and chemistry, and that man there, Steve Lavin, has done a nice job keeping them focused and keeping them on task.
UCLA out of the Pac-10 with a 20-11 record, and the Terps out of the ACC at 25-9 and highly regarded. Each of these teams with a tough task ahead of them today. 9:54 to play in the first half, and UCLA on top, 21-19.
You look across the board in the games we've seen today, Greg, and every team that's advanced to the Sweet 16 has fully earned that ticket. And that's the way I think it's going to be across the board. Just so competitive, so much parity. This matchup here, UCLA and Maryland, 2 teams that like to play up-tempo, 2 teams that have a number of scoring weapons. Juan Dixon has it blocked there, and off to the races we go.
Many more days like this, Clark, and we're going to have
That's the kind of
coaches that are head cases.
Jerron Rush off the feed from Earl Watson.
We'll keep you updated on UCLA, Maryland. Let's take you back to Tucson. Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner.
6 minutes ago in the first half of play, St. John's up 26-21.
St. John's has really been able to get it done on the inside now. Barkley hits the three-point basket. The big story for the Red Storm. Glover, 10 points, 3 rebounds before he went to the bench with 2 fouls.
Dent spins baseline, and a whistle and foul called on the floor. Donald Emmanuel called for the foul. So the X-Man back to the bench at the line. Young man from Melbourne, Australia. 1-1, and he gets the front end. And a look at the game summary. 3-point shooting a key, 1 of 7. The Red Storm, 2 of 8 for Gonzaga. Second free throw good.
Again, though, it's been the St. John's defense and their inside play that has set the tone early. St. John's has been able to get it inside to Glover, to Postel. They've been able to rebound the ball very effectively on the offensive end and create turnovers on the defensive end.
Bootsy Thornton drives baseline, cut off. Skip pass to Postel. Now Barkley. Off the back rim, Postel. Offensive rebound, and he lays it off to Emmanuel. Santangelo the other way. And the ball tipped out of bounds by Reggie Jesse.
One of the problems that has confronted Gonzaga is blocking out. Nobody blocks out LeVar Postel, and I'm telling you, as well as Postel can play on the inside, you better find him and get a body on him. That is now 8 points for St. John's as a result of offensive rebounds.
Calvary taken away by Thornton. 3-on-1. Bootsy to Barkley inside. He's fouled. Get a complete game coverage with real-time desktop scoring in the Game Center. For the fastest coverage online, just click on March Mayhem at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. So Eric Barkley, the young man, has been through a lot this season. Played extremely well on the court, but has had some problems off the court with the NCAA.
And the NCAA, of course, the investigations as a result of his tuition payments at Maine Central Institute and the result of a car exchange, but all that seems to be behind him now, and he has a very good view about that. It's all done, and he wants to move on, and certainly he has been effective so far in this tournament.
Second free throw for Barkley is good, although he did struggle in the first game against Northern Arizona. 2 of 12, 8 points, but had a big steal at the end of the game. 32-23 the score. St. John's by 9, under 5 to go in the first half. St. John's a number 2 seed with a great opportunity. Arizona losing today to Wisconsin. Well, that sets up a matchup between Wisconsin and LSU. Miles Swift and company for the Bayou Tigers.
3 of the 4 teams already have their tickets punched for Albuquerque. These 2 teams vying to become the 4th.
Santangelo, nice look to Dent. Block. Dent receives it again. Jump hook is good. Emmanuel got a big hand on it. And now Dent with 10 points.
Gonzaga goes back to the man-to-man. Now, when they showed this defense early in the game, immediately LeVar Postel posted up inside.
9 points, the largest lead for the Red Storm. Thornton stripped away, saves it from going out of bounds.
Looks for Thornton to try to post up inside against Floyd.
Leans in, fades, and Dench snatches it down.
This is a tough lineup for Gonzaga to try to guard man-to-man. Just as St. John's has had success going inside, that's where Gonzaga needs to go.
Dench again. And Bootsy Thornton with the rebound.
A smart play by Thornton to tip the ball away so then he could go run it down in the corner. Casey Calvary with those 2 personal fouls is trying to match up against LeVar Postel.
Here's Barkley on the high pick and roll. Down the lane, the runner. Oh, the window and in. Eric Barkley with 6 points. St. John's up 34-25. Santangelo answers for 3.
He has been the 3-point offense today for Gonzaga.
3 threes for Matt Santangelo. And a 6-point game. Barkley.
I think Eric Barkley lost the contact lens.
So a timeout on the floor as Barkley puts his contact back in. 34-28. Monday on CBS, Grapevine's got game. Critics agree the more Grapevine you watch, the more enjoyable it becomes. Don't miss an all-new Grapevine Monday on CBS. And don't forget, coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg with plenty of game and games to update. We'll update you on all the tournament news, all the scores and highlights, plus live look-ins at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half. Our score, 34-28. St. John's on top of Gonzaga. Red Storm is led by as many as 9 here in the first half of play. Barkley guarded by Santangelo.
And that's the matchup between the 2 friends in the man-to-man defense.
Chudney Gray. Off the dribble. Bad shot.
Shot clock was running down. I don't know that the Red Storm realized when that timeout occurred that they only had 20 seconds left on the shot clock, and Mike Jarvis can only shake his head.
Richie Fromm dribbling the basketball at 31 against Louisville. 0 for 3 today. Inside space. Nice catch. Great ball. Block, but tipped up and in by Dent.
And suddenly Gonzaga gives every appearance as if they want to hang around.
And Axel Dent with 12 first-half points.
And with Fromm not making an offensive contribution and Calvary in foul trouble, they needed somebody to step up, and it has been Dent.
Lucy Thornton pops out, reels down the lane, strip. Here comes Floyd. He's got Spink on the lane. Nice bounce. Oh! Whoa! Young fella! Gonzaga on a 7-0 run. Barkley. Reggie Jesse with the putback.
And that's why it's the crowd, but again, St. John's just pounding the offensive board.
And Fromm out of bounds.
Gonzaga is a team that likes to get out and run when they have the opportunity, and Floyd doesn't really make a very good pass here, but Spink bails him out by just flying to the basket. Spink hustling down the court. Now he comes into your screen, and now he almost rises out of your screen. Excellent fast break, but following that, Gonzaga gave up an offensive rebound basket, and now they turn it over again.
Knocked away. Stolen. Spink. Fromm in the corner. Here's Floyd. Back to Spink. Dent missed the lay-in. And a whistle.
That's at least 4 layups that Gonzaga has missed in the first half. Santangelo telling Spink and Dent, nice job, let's hang in there.
And Spink takes the seat. 2 rim-rocking dunks in the first half of play for Mark Spink, the junior from Bellingham, Washington.
And now Gonzaga would like to get a defensive stop and a score before halftime. The momentum has suddenly shifted. You don't want it to shift back.
Barkley. Barkley picks up the dribble. Emmanuel feeds the post. Thornton. Triple team. Forces it up. Rimmed out. Jesse with the rebound, but he can't get it to fall. Shot clock off. 22 seconds to go in the first half. Gonzaga playing for 1 shot.
Got to find Fram and Santangelo in this situation.
Here's Santangelo, 8 to shoot. Now Floyd.
Richie Fromm looking for the ball.
Inside Dent, the runner. Rebound is Gordon. Foul. Chudney Gray called for the foul, his second. 10 team fouls against St. John's with 1 second remaining. The board was 2.
St. John's did a nice job keeping the ball out of the hands of Richie Fromm and out of the hands of Ryan Floyd, forcing somebody else to try to get the score.
And Gord misses the first.
He's only a 60% free throw shooter. Marcu telling his guys they've got to be smart. He doesn't want any fouls coming over the back.
Second free throw, good. 1 second to go. And Emmanuel from 3-quarter court. Oh, it almost went in. And what a first half. St. John's heads into the locker room leading 36-33. Beth Mowens is standing by with Coach Jarvis.
Well, Coach, what kind of adjustments do you need to make now for the second half?
Well, you know, the game always comes down to second chance points. We can't allow them to get the ball in deep and to get some second chance baskets, which we've given them.
Thanks, Mike. Gus?
All right, Beth. St. John's with 10 second chance points in the first half. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Halftime, St. John's up 36-33. We'll return to Tucson, Arizona after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Isuzu, Compact iPad, Payne Weber, and by Bud Light.
Welcome back to the McHale Center in Tucson, 36-33 the score. Moments ago, Beth Moen spoke to Mark Few.
Mark, what do you need to do in the second half to get Richie a few more looks?
He's got to work a little bit harder away from the ball, and then our bigs have just got to sneak out and set a couple better screens for him, and we just need to attack more. They slowed us down, and we got to get our break going. We're best when we're flying up the floor and getting our offense out of that.
Gus Johnson, Dan Bonner, how do they get their break going?
I think they have to get their break going. The first thing you need to do is have the ball, and they haven't done a good job with defensive rebounding. St. John's has really been productive attacking the offensive boards, and so I think that's the biggest thing for Gonzaga is to get those defensive rebounds so they can get out and get rolling.
All right, let's take a look at the halftime statistics. Red Storm, 15 of 30 from the field. Gonzaga, 11 of 27.
And if you look at that St. John's 15 of 30, that includes 1 for 8 from three-point range, 24 points on the inside for St. John's, and I think that's the key. Gonzaga has to cut that off. 10 of those points are a direct result of offensive rebounds, and Gonzaga simply cannot give up those second chance points. You heard Mike Jarvis talk about how St. John's had to stop the second chance points. Well, I think it's a more important matter for Gonzaga.
Richie Fromm, the leading scorer in the West Coast Conference this year, at 16 a game, 0 for 3 in the first half for the Zags.
No points for Fromm, only 1 point for Calvary.
Then Calvary rebounds 6 out.
And that's the second chance points that Mike Jarvis was upset about. Calvary gets them going early.
St. John's had 10 second chance points in that first half of play. Boosie Thornton and a foul called on Floyd.
We mentioned that Fromm and Calvary really haven't been able to get it going in the first half, but Santangelo with 3 3-point baskets and 10 points, and Dench with 12 tough inside points for Gonzaga are keeping the Bulldogs in the game.
Floyd picks up his first.
And in the man-to-man, that is a difficult matchup for Floyd.
Barkley for 3. Eric Barkley. 9 points now.
St. John's has done a nice job slowing the Bulldogs down with this press, and they've also done a nice job creating turnovers.
From now Calvary.
Boy, Fromm's not even looking for a shot.
Dench leans in. Off the front rim, no good. Glover with the great rebound. Glover had a terrific first half of play.
That was outstanding ball moving by Gonzaga, but Fromm didn't even look at it.
Jesse misses. And Sangelo the other way. Glover with 10 points in the first half. 4 of 4 from the field. And what a screen. Dench leveling Thornton. Inside Calvary. Dunks it on Glover.
And that's the value of Casey Calvary. It really hurt Gonzaga that Calvary picked up those 2 fouls in the first minute and a half of the game.
39-37, Barkley, dribble penetration. Postel with the rebound and the kick. New shot clock. Now Barkley winds up. Looks like he may have been fouled on his elbow. No call.
And St. John's has a tendency of allowing teams to hang around, and Gonzaga staying around.
Dench calling for it. Weak side. Floyd wide open. Gonzaga takes the lead. First time. 40-39.
St. John's had good success early in the game against the Gonzaga man-to-man by getting it to Postell inside against Fromm.
Now Postell picks it out. Barkley for three. Count it. Eric Barkley starting to warm up. He has 3 threes and 12 points.
Barkley only a 30% three-point shooter on the year.
But he is a money player. Inside Calvary, bad shot. He was double teamed. And Postell brings it up the floor.
I think Calvary was looking for the foul on that play. And Gonzaga stays in the man-to-man.
Postell, Glover, got a wheel off the glass, and he's fouled.
Gonzaga got back in the game and took the lead by making good passes, inside-out game. But here Calvary, surrounded by 3 guys, elects to try to power it to the basket. That is not a good play.
Casey Calvary called for his 3rd foul.
Glover going to the line, had 10 points and 3 rebounds early, but then he had to sit down with 2 personal fouls, and that hurt the St. John's attack in the first half.
2 for 3 from the line for Anthony Glover. First one good. Sunday on 60 Minutes. Who are the new masters on the net? The internet, that is. They're taking the cyber world by storm, and why is the mayor of one of the world's hottest vacation spots giving visitors the cold shoulder? The answer Sunday on 60 Minutes. Glover, 2 in a row.
I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with Glover's ability at 6'6" to play down on the interior. Now St. John's back in the zone again. And it is a very widely spread, very active zone.
Calvary across the middle. Nice look with the left hand.
And with that zone spread way out, trying to stop the three-point basket, Calvary is going to get a lot of opportunities inside.
2-point game.
Trying to post Thornton up inside against Floyd.
Knocked away. Floyd with 20 to shoot.
And the reason they couldn't throw the ball inside to Floyd, Gus, was because Dench was standing right behind Thornton.
Size giving St. John's problems did against Northern Arizona, but their quickness usually prevailing. Here's Postell. Barkley from way deep. And Dench with the rebound. Gonzaga can tie it up with the Duke. Go ahead with the 3. Dench for 3. Dench, 15 points. He averages 9 on the year. 1-point Gonzaga lead.
Dench had 14 last night, or excuse me, in the first round. Gonzaga stays in the man-to-man.
Thornton, 19-footer, short, loose ball, rebound, Postell, great look to Glover. Postell is really aggressive on the offensive glass.
Does a great job getting to the boards. You have to find him and block him out.
Knocked away. Now Santangelo, 16-footer. Zags starting to see, as they say. See the basket. 47-46.
Now Gonzaga drops back into the zone defense. And the Bulldogs had a tough time rebounding out of this zone in the first half.
Inside Glover. No call. Looked like a foul. Jesse picks it up. And
Stepped on the line.
Stepped on the line. 14:40 to go. 1-point game. Gonzaga leads St. John's 47-46. Gus Johnson, Dan Bonner with you, along with Seth Mowens in the game summary.
And Gonzaga really heating it up in the second half. They've got 3 three-point baskets. Dench doing a great job with 15 points and 5 rebounds. Dench, who has a career high of 28 points, has really had a good regional out here in Tucson. 14 points in the opening round win, and now 15 so far today.
Gonzaga 6 of 9 from the field in the second half. Here comes the slap. And the Zags break it.
St. John's drops back into the man-to-man defense, trying to change the tempo of this game.
Floyd along with Fromm. Dench. Spink and Santangelo. Dent across the lane. Tough shot. Count it. The Aussie ruling today.
Against the man-to-man defense, St. John's really has to give Emmanuel some help down inside. Dent, a very skilled offensive player. Nobody comes to help. He's got all day down there to work against Emmanuel, and he is able to get the shot off very effectively. Remember, he is 6'11". St. John's doesn't have anybody close to that size.
He misses a free throw. Gonzaga on a 9-2 run, 49-46.
Gonzaga goes back to the man-to-man.
Jesse crosses over, pull-up jumper, short. Jesse with the steal. 15-footer. This time he connects.
That is a big basket by Jesse.
Reggie Jesse does a little bit of everything for this St. John's team. Rebound, play defense, and he can hit that medium-range jump shot. 1-point game. Dent again. Dent posted up, leans in, short, and the foul. We head the other way. And the bracket here in the West. Second round action in Tucson, Arizona. Purdue, a 6, knocking off Oklahoma, a 3. And Gonzaga, St. John's will play, the winner will play Purdue.
And then game one, an intense physical basketball game that turned in the end on a three-point attempt that was called a foul, and Cornell went to the line and hit 3 to seal it up for the Boilermakers.
Spink called for his 3rd foul. Postel all alone. And a rebound to Calvary.
Calvary had 6 points in the second half and has been effective in 5.
Angelo off the dribble, in and out, loose ball. Glover comes up with it. Now Thornton in the front court. Double pump, draws the foul and goes down hard.
And they're going to get Spink.
And Bootsy's hurt, but he gets up.
I think it'd take an awful lot to hurt Bootsy. I think he's angry is what he is. This all starts with a great outlet pass by Glover. You don't understand the importance of getting the ball out of the defensive zone and getting it up quickly. Santangelo trying to prevent the shot, and the foul is called. Spink just steps into him as he's coming down.
Undercutting, trying to block out.
But a tremendous fast break by St. John's.
St. John's fans on their feet.
The quickness of the Red Storm is really something to watch. They attack you so fast coming down on offense.
Bootsy Thornton, 4 points at the line. And Spink takes a seat. His 4th foul.
And this forces Gonzaga to go with a little bit smaller lineup, and that might create some matchup problems.
Second free throw good for Thornton. Ties the game up at 49. Now full court pressure by St. John's. Santangelo double team, trying to dribble out of trouble, and a reach-in foul on Barkley. His 2nd.
Going to that double team to force Santangelo to give up the ball, and Santangelo simply refuses to do it. Barkley's trying to move his feet, but Santangelo, a very powerfully built 6'1".
49 apiece. St. John's led by as many as 9 in the first half of play. Now Floyd, diagonal pass from Gord, leans in. Rebound to Glover, who's fouled. Over the back, coming up on the freshman, Zach Gord. His 2nd.
Mark Hughes claiming that Gord was fouled on his way to the basket. St. John's doing a great job with the pressure up front and then getting back quickly on defense to prevent the easy opportunities.
15 foul called against Gonzaga.
zone.
Sonny Gray, ball fake, missed, rebounded Santangelo. Cutting through the defense, Santangelo, free throw line extended, tap back out by Calvary. To Floyd, it's short, and Postel with the weak side rebound.
You got some guys really going up after the ball. Calvary, then Postel.
Reggie Jesse ready to check back in. Thornton spins. Postel. Pump fake. 15-footer. Loose ball. And Gray can't tip it in.
Boy, what great elevation by Postel on that jump shot.
Shot not falling for St. John's. And a foul by Thornton. 11:32 to go. Second half of play. We are tied at 49. Tournament summary, the big news today. Arizona, the #1 seed in the West, playing in Salt Lake City, falls to Wisconsin. And the heroes today.
And down there at the bottom of the screen, Gus, Mark Vershaw from Wisconsin has made the people around here very unhappy.
Arizona plays here at the McHale Center. 49 apiece, our score. St. John's 4 of 14 shooting in the second half of play. After shooting 50% in the first half, that's 28% in the second half so far for the Red Storm.
Now St. John's goes back to the zone. And Gonzaga had some success inside against this zone earlier in the half.
Calvary in the pivot, across. What an athlete.
He can really jump, and that's going to be a problem for St. John's. Unless they can get some help against Calvary, he can simply jump over everyone in there.
51 to 49. Calvary with 9 points. Postel, the runner on the baseline. Nice shot for LeVar Postel.
And that penetration into that zone has been effective for St. John's earlier. And I'm sure Mike Jarvis is glad to see Postel go back to it.
Gonzaga doing a much better job against the full-court pressure.
Gonzaga
8 turnovers.
They turned it over 7 times early in the game, but you're right, Gus. It's been a while since they've turned it over.
Fromm for 3. Finally, 1 for 4, Richie Fromm. And Gonzaga takes a 54-51 lead. And they get back into the 2-3. Barkley for 3. The answer. Eric Barkley. His 4th 3 of the game, and we're tied at 54. Now Gord, double teamed, tied up. Anthony Glover tying him up. Possession arrow favors St. John's.
And that is just the strength of Glover inside. Nice job by St. John's to drop down and double team Gord. They didn't do it the last time against Calvary, and Gord just simply doesn't have the strength to get the ball away from Glover.
St. John's, the #2 seed. Gonzaga, the 10th seed. And we're tied at 54.
Gonzaga stays in that zone.
Bounce pass, Glover. Knocked out of bounds, and nobody from Gonzaga touched it, so the Zags get it back.
It is amazing to me the confidence that the St. John's players have in Glover inside.
He's got great hands.
Well, they've thrown the ball in some awfully tough situations. There was no way he was going to be able to do anything if he was able to catch that ball.
UCLA throttling now. Wow. Floyd with the step. And a whistle and foul on Glover. His 3rd. 4th team foul against the Red Storm.
The Red Storm have had some success penetrating off the dribble against the St. John's zone, and now Gonzaga turning the tables just a little bit. Now with Calvary and Dench both in the game at the same time, let's see if Gonzaga can get something inside.
Here's Calvary, double team, and another foul. This time Bootsy Thornton. His 2nd.
You want to wait till the big guy dribbles it inside before you try to knock the ball away from him. Thornton trying to smack it away from Calvary while Calvary was holding it above his head.
From off the dribble. Calvary from deep. Rims down. Saved by Thornton, but he can't hold on.
Calvary actually a very good three-point shooter, 44% on the year, and had a good look at it.
Floyd for three. Air ball. Here come the Red Storm. Jesse, eyes up.
Eyes like radar, looking for Postell.
Barkley again. Loose ball. Calvary swoops in for the rebound.
Postell got his hand on it, but Calvary was able to control it. St. John's does not want to rely on Barkley from out beyond the three-point arc. They need to get some inside.
Weak side, Santangelo. And a rebound to Postell. Here comes Barkley at the midcourt line. Barkley splits the defense. And he comes up short.
And Fromm is really upset with himself. That was a 1-on-3, and Barkley's able to knife through. Postell does a great job running this ball down in the corner, and on one foot makes the pass out to half court, and Barkley, no hesitation at all, 1-on-3. He goes right through Fromm and Santangelo to draw the foul.
Eric Barkley, so quick. And he misses the first.
We talked about him being only 2 for 12 in the victory against Northern Arizona, but the big steal, stealing the win at the end of the game, but he has really stepped up his offense.
15 points. Santangelo called for a second foul, and he misses a pair. Floyd with the rebound. And a reach-in foul on Barkley.
No frustration, I think.
Third foul on Barkley. Now Spink checking back into the game.
And Floyd going out. Mark Few trying to work with that short bench.
So Gonzaga goes big. Fromm along with Santangelo in the backcourt. Spink, Calvary, and Dent in the front court. Here's the trap. Inside Spink, left hand.
Spink has had a great game. A couple of monster dunks, and that time a nice little move to the basket.
6 points for Spink. Gonzaga by 2. Postell, big shot. And Calvary with the rebound.
That's awfully early in the clock for LeVar Postell to be taking the three.
7:57 to go. Richie Fromm.
Zone defense for St. John's. Ward can hit the three.
Dent. 9 to shoot. Here's Fromm. Knocked away. 6 to shoot. Fromm, Santangelo. Desperation. Oh! Wow! 59-54. Biggest lead of the game for the Zags. Postell inside Jesse. Remember, folks, St. John's, they are cool under pressure. Hard to rattle these kids.
Boy, that quieted the crowd, Gus. That was a really important basket.
From deep. Barkley hustles it down, but steps on the line. Tried to get the timeout, but couldn't. 6:47 to go. 59-56. Game summary. Three-point shooting a factor in the second half. Gonzaga 7 of 19. However, they have 4 threes in the second half of play.
And their ability to get the ball inside to Calvary and Dent has also been significant. St. John's Shot 50% in the first half. They've fallen off with their inside game in the second half. It's been Barkley keeping them in it with threes.
From in the corner, and a whistle and another touch foul.
And that's Barkley. And that's 4.
And the Reds soar over the limit. 1-1 for Richie Fromm.
And Fromm is the last guy from Gonzaga you want to send to the line. He's an 80% free throw shooter.
First one good. What young players have to figure out, old players as well, they have to adjust to the officiating.
That was not a real good foul. You just don't even want to give the referee out at half court the chance to blow the whistle. You just stay away from the guy. Nothing you're going to accomplish out there.
Obviously, the officials calling it tight. 61-56.
St. John's down by 5 again. The last time they responded with a basket.
Barkley. Not a lot of penetration going on for St. John.
Barkley's got to be careful with his penetration. He doesn't want to pick up a charge.
Now Jesse to Barkley. Nice pump. Step back 3. Off the back rim. Fromm with the rebound. Inside bench. Backdoor Calvary. And a foul.
And that's a good foul by Postell. Dench didn't see Calvary right away, or it would have been a basket.
Third foul on Postell.
Dench and Calvary have really worked effectively in the second half against the St. John's defense. Calvary was open for a second before Dench saw him, and that allowed Postell to get over and stop the easy basket.
Casey Calvary at the free throw line. Chutney Gray ready to check in.
And Mike Jarvis looking, I guess, for a little more quickness in this lineup. Doesn't like the way the game is going, trying to change the pace.
Second free throw good. 9-2 run for Gonzaga. 63-56.
Lots of time for St. John's, but they really have to get into a rhythm against this zone defense.
What do they need to do to crack it?
I think they need to get Postell penetrating with the dribble.
There you have it, but he misses. Knocked out of bounds, we head the other way.
You can't have Barkley penetrate with the dribble because he's got the 4 fouls, so I think that Thornton and Postell both have to look to drive the ball into that zone.
From weak side, inside, stolen Glover. Thornton back to Glover. Off the glass and in, plus the foul. Anthony Glover stealing the ball and finishing.
And of course, it always helps to play against the zone if you can beat it down the court, and St. John's getting it done on the defensive end. Calvary doesn't step to the ball. He allows Glover to pick it off, and then Glover just keeps on running. A bad foul by Santangelo.
St. John's. Glover misses the free throw. 63-58. Gonzaga, they've turned it over 10 times. Fromm frees himself. Long rebound. Here comes Barkley.
And that's what you need to do against Fromm. They can step inside that three-point line. 55% of his shot attempts come from beyond the arc. Make him put it on the deck, take one dribble, and shoot the 2.
Barkley drives baseline and a foul.
They called the foul on Calvary. That's 4 for him. And this is what we're talking about. The penetration puts pressure on the defense. Calvary steps in and gets the hip check.
18 foul against Gonzaga. So Calvary with 4. Spink with 4. Calvary takes the seat. with 4:56 to go. Eric Barkley at the line.
Calvary going to the bench. We've seen how valuable he can be on the offensive end in this second half. That hurts Gonzaga to have him out of the game.
Eric Barkley, 16 points, had 6 at halftime. Missed the second.
Going 9 for 17 from the free throw line in a close game by St. John's is not good. St. John's starting to swarm with that pressure.
Santangelo. Oh, they are hitting shots.
If you don't steal the ball out of the press, you're going to give up an open look.
Postel elevates. Short. Taps out to Barkley. Now Thornton in the corner. How about that? Boosie Thornton answers.
Another second chance basket.
66-62. 16 second chance points for St. John's. Now Dent. 4 minutes to go.
St. John's back into the man-to-man. They're going to try to post Dench up inside.
Floyd, 6 to shoot. Stop and start. Kicks it down. And a foul.
And that was with 1 second left on the shot clock, and now Glover has 4 personal fouls. This is really a break for Gonzaga. You've got to give Floyd some credit for not giving up on the ball. It slapped out of his hands. How did he get that ball past Thornton? Shot clock in the lower left as Floyd penetrates down in there with a foul with 1 second left.
Spink, a 60% free throw shooter. Misses the first. Right at his average. Makes the second. 3:49 to go in the second half of play. 67-62. 67-62. Gonzaga leads St. John's. 3:49 to go in the second half of play. (67-62) the score. 3:49 to go. Gonzaga seeded number 10, St. John's number 2. And the Zags have the Red Storm on the ropes right now.
Shooting the ball very well in the second half. St. John's having trouble getting inside the Gonzaga defense. And Gonzaga has gone back to the man-to-man.
No! Whoa!
That's the way St. John's started the game, going with Postel inside against the man-to-man.
Talking about an explosion. Santangelo the other way. Out of bounds, we head the other way. Change that. It's last touch by the Red Storm.
LeVar Postel just goes right by Spink. He never has a chance, and watch Postel elevate. This is just great quickness against the defense. Dench not able to get over in time. Now St. John's also in the man-to-man.
Floyd down the lane. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Red Storm with 11 to shoot.
And against the man-to-man, Gonzaga in the second half has had some success getting the ball inside to Casey Calvary.
Reggie Jesse back in, and Chudney Gray heads out. 11 on the shot clock. Santangelo the inbounder. Santangelo to Fromm. Under 3 to go. 8 to shoot. Fromm looking for his shot. Hard around the corner.
Oh, big shot!
7 points for Fromm. 69-64. Now Postel. Thornton for three. Loose ball. And Fromm with the rebound. Floyd.
Boy, St. John's really scrapping on defense.
14 to shoot.
Lots of time.
Santangelo leaves in. Oh, my goodness.
He knows Barkley's got 4 personal fouls. That's a great move by Santangelo.
Gonzaga putting on a clinic here in the second half. Santangelo with 20. 71-64. Thornton down the lane. He's fouled.
And he's fouled by Dent. Gonzaga back into the zone, and that time Thornton's taking the ball to the basket.
Dent called for his second, and it's the 19th foul against Gonzaga. So Bootsy Thornton steps to the line, has 8 points. Thornton 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 7 from the three-point line tonight.
And it's 1-1. They ruled he was not in the act of shooting.
Just the first to go. The CBS Sportsline stat of the game, free throw shooting. St. John's 10 of 18. Gonzaga 13 of 19. Get complete NCAA tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com. No free throws good for Bootsy Thornton.
And speaking of free throws, as we come down the stretch, remember Gonzaga is not a good free throw shooting team.
Santangelo over the line at Dent.
Oh, he thought about it.
He certainly did. 1:29 to go. Red Storm need to stop right here.
Dent's looking for the ball inside.
Santangelo has been big. For three. Oh! 74-66. Thornton for three. And it's rebounded by Fromm. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are 57 seconds away from knocking off the number 2 seed and heading into the Sweet 16. Santangelo in the corner bench. Now Jesse to Thornton. Down the lane. What a shot! What a left hand time off St. John's. Bootsy Thornton in motion. 41.4 to go. The game reset, 41.4 to go. Each team over the limit, approaching the double bonus. Gonzaga with 4 timeouts, St. John's with 3. And if you're St. John's, trailing by 6 with 41.4 to do, what do you do, Danny?
You obviously are going to try to steal the ball on the inbounds pass. I don't think you're going to worry about fouling on the inbounds pass. If you don't get to steal, you have to foul right away. Remember, Gonzaga, only a 66% free throw shooting team. You'd like to keep the ball out of the hands of Santangelo and Fromm if you're St. John's.
Red Storm refused to guard the inbounder, Calvary, and he calls a timeout.
No, there's not a timeout. They called a foul on LeVar Postel.
And Mike Jarvis is livid. The other official signaled for a timeout,
but the call was made before the timeout signal. LeVar Postel was called for holding out at midcourt. And the only question is, who are they going to send to the free throw line? Let's see if we can find LeVar Postel. He's the guy right here. Well, no, I'm wrong. That was not Postel. Well, I thought that they pointed at LeVar Postel.
Santangelo at the line. And the officials have not signaled who committed the foul. And now they're saying Chutney Gray committed the foul. Both free throws good for Santangelo. Gray the other way. Straight to the basket. And a whistle.
And he got fouled.
Let's take a look at the last foul.
Well, let's see if we can find Chutney Gray. Right here is Chutney Gray right at the three-point line against Matt Santangelo, and you can see as you look real closely that he does have his arm wrapped around Santangelo. That's what the official sees, and that clearly occurred before Calvary called the timeout. The official behind the play made the call, and what he saw was the hand wrapped around Santangelo, and he called the foul.
Gray makes the first. Reggie Jesse back in. Dench back in for Gonzaga. Spink takes the seat. Second free throw, no good. Tipped out. Glover to the basket. Off the glass and good. With 32.2 to go. 5-point game. Game reset. Both teams in the double bonus. 4 timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs, 2 for the Red Storm.
LeVar Postel with the big tip on the offensive boards, enabling St. John's to get the offensive rebound. St. John's has scored 21 second chance points.
Now Dench inbounded to Fromm, and he's fouled by Jesse quickly with 30.8 to go.
It's a good move by Gonzaga to be able to get the ball inbounds to their best free throw shooter. St. John's over the 10 foul limit, so Fromm will get 2 opportunities from the line.
Richie Fromm, 7 points, close to 80% on the year.
This one, of course, is the big one. It makes it a 3-possession game.
The Zags trying to advance to the Sweet 16 for the 2nd straight year. They knocked off 2nd-seeded Stanford last year. 78-71. Gray to Barkley. Reverse layup is good. With 24.5 to go, and they foul Fromm again. Chutney Gray called for the foul. Richie Fromm.
And once again, Gonzaga does a great job getting the ball to their best free throw shooter. Now he's got to convert.
And he does. Missed the second.
2-possession game.
Barkley for 3. Got it. Timeout. 17.4 to go. Let's reset it once again for you. Each team in the double bonus. Gonzaga still with 4 timeouts, 1 remaining for St. John's. Here's the last basket.
And Barkley has been big all day for St. John's, and he nails that one. Mike Jarvis knows he needs 2 threes. Reaction a little bit different on the Gonzaga bench.
So on the floor now for the Red Storm, it's Jesse Chutney Gray along with Postel, Glover, and Bootsy Thornton. Here's the full court pressure. Santangelo fouled by Jesse with 15.9 to go.
Santangelo only a 65% free throw shooter, but he's going to go to the line with the opportunity for 2.
79-76. Santangelo 3 of 4.
And what a game he has had tonight.
6 of 10 from the field. First one short. As a matter of fact, Santangelo, is 6 of 10 from the three-point line, 8 of 14 from the field. Now Barkley back into the game.
And Gonzaga's got to try to make sure that St. John's runs some time off the clock. Now it's a 2-possession game again.
Barring a 4-point play. Chudney Gray. Barkley for 3. Off the front rim. Gray out of bounds. Gonzaga gets it back with 6.9 to go. Timeout St. John's. 6.9 remaining. 80-76. The game reset. Both teams in the double bonus. No timeouts remaining for the Red Storm. 4 remaining for Gonzaga with 6.9 to go.
And the problem for St. John's, Gonzaga has the ball. They've got a 2-possession lead. St. John's almost has to get a steal and a quick basket and then foul immediately.
Dench, the inbounder, and Glover guards the ball.
You don't want to throw the ball back towards the St. John's basket.
And a foul call before the ball was thrown in bounds. Postel fouling Casey Calvary. Calvary running all around the floor, trying to get away from Postel because he doesn't want to go to the line. Calvary is 60% free throw shooter. Has 11 points, 10 in the second half of play.
Now, no time ran off the clock, but St. John's now all the way at the other end of the court, no matter what he does, and he makes it. They don't have enough time.
That may do it.
What an effort by Gonzaga.
Goes good. 82-76. Barkley for 3. No good. Richie from the Gonzaga Bulldogs are heading to Albuquerque. 82-76 the final. Gonzaga defeats St. John's. The number 10 seed knocks off the number 2 seed. Gonzaga, a bracket buster. Let's take a look. 2 upsets here in Tucson. Purdue knocking off Oklahoma, and Gonzaga knocking off St. John's. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Matt Santangelo, the senior, 26 points, 4 rebounds. Eric Barkley, 21 and 4. And listen to the crowd. So the Zags are back. They do it again, knocking off a 7 and a 2 en route to the Sweet 16. The hero, Matt Santangelo. Also, Axel Dench. The Zags will meet Purdue, the final 82-76. Coming up after commercial, Greg Gumbel in New York.
Greg Gumbel back in New York. Gonzaga 82-76 winners over the Red Storm of St. John to move on to meet Purdue. Let's go out to Tucson. Dan Bonner's with a happy group. Dan.
Thank you, Greg. Matt Santangelo, the game was on the line. The ball came to you. You took over the game. Tell us what was going on out there.
Well, you know, we had success against their zone, made them go man. Casey started going to work on the inside and Axel, too, and that opens up the perimeter. I just stepped up and knocked down some shots.
6 for 10 from the three-point line. A very happy coach, Mark Few, with A.J. and Marcy. Mark, how does it feel in your first year? You're going back to the Sweet 16.
I'm just so happy for these kids. They've worked so hard over the course of their entire basketball careers, and to shine, you know, when all the lights are on you is just huge. And I couldn't be more proud of a group of kids. And the way Matt played tonight was just unbelievable.
The lights were on, and they really did shine. Greg, back to you.
All right, Dan, thanks very much. Gonzaga becomes the first number 10 seed to advance to the Sweet 16 in consecutive years. They'll move on to play Purdue.
The Bulldogs are still dancing this morning. A big win over St. John sends him straight to the Sweet 16. Crim 2's Mark Holyoke shows us last night's highlights.
The final free throw, the final nail in the coffin. Gonzaga sends favorite St. John's packing, and the Zags are into the Sweet 16 for the second year in a row.
Unbelievable. Just when you think they've done enough, they step up and show again that they don't want to quit playing together, you know, basically. And I thought, you know, we weathered a, you know, pardon the pun, but a red storm.
Leading the Zags this time, senior Matt Santangelo. He plays 40 minutes, pours in a game-high 26 points, and weathers a suffocating St. John's press.
Finally got that last rebound, and they decided not to foul. I mean, it was just, I mean, so much emotion inside, you know, and it was so hard fought. It's tremendous, man. I don't really know how to explain what's going on inside me right now.
What the Zags do feel is a whole lot of momentum as more people jump on board the GU bandwagon bound for Albuquerque.
People like our style of play. We're hardworking kids. We're good kids. We're not really kids anymore to me, but we're hardworking, and people enjoy watching us play.
And when you're sitting up there, are you ever, you know, saying any prayers open? Are you?
Yeah, very definitely. But, you know, I also, you know, I want God's will to be done, but I very much, you know, I get into the spirit of the game.
Like it was last year, you know, against Stanford and UConn, and we're just lucky. I mean, we're real happy to pull this one out. We're lucky as well, but it was just an incredible win for our team.
So how do you celebrate? You go dancing?
Sweet 16, that's how we all celebrate. No school for the next week, so that's how I'm celebrating. Cinderella's dead, and we're here to stay.
Mark Holyoke, Crim 2 News.
Now, as you can imagine, the campus of Gonzaga University in Spokane absolutely erupted when the Zags beat St. John's. As Crim 2's Christy Goranson shows us, the Bulldog fans are just as pumped up as the players.
Within seconds of the Bulldogs' win, the courtyard outside the Crosby Center was packed with excited students. The crowd went wild with pride for their Zags, and many students say the Bulldog mania has just begun.
It's going to be good. With Arizona and St. John out of the bracket, anything's possible.
I thought it's going to have a coronary or something.
And Zag fans at the Ram restaurant in downtown Spokane also went nuts as the final whistle blew. A packed house hit the roof, seeing the Bulldogs make it to their second Sweet 16 in a row.
I saw the coach for the other team kind of frown, and when he started frowning, I said, that's it, it's our moment. So bring up Purdue, man. They're ready for them. Go, Zags, go! Go, Zags, go!
Every basket, everybody's excited, rooting, supporting them. It's just phenomenal the way everybody gets together to support them.
Christy Goranson, Crim 2 News.
If you want to dance your way to Albuquerque along with the Bulldogs, there are 1,200 tickets available. They go on sale tomorrow morning at 9. Season ticket holders and the Bulldog Club have first crack. Tickets should be available to the public by noon. You can get them by calling the Gonzaga ticket office, and students can line up for them at the Crosby Student Center starting at 9 a.m.